where summit meeting will peace summit meeting will be taking place this weekend, and a few leaks have come out that indicates that there will be a draft statement which will affirm international community will not recognize any changes to pre-1967 lines without agreement by both sides. And this is what the article says. It says that in a strong message to Israel and the incoming Trump administration, dozens of countries are expected this weekend to reiterate their position or opposition to Israeli settlements and call for the establishment of a Palestinian state as the only way to ensure peace in the region. France is hosting more than 70 countries on Sunday at a Mideast peace summit in what will be a final chance for the Obama administration to lay out its positions for the region. According to the draft statement obtained by the Associated Press on Friday, the conference will urge Israel and the Palestinians to officially restate their commitment to the two-state solution. It also will affirm that the international community will not recognize changes to Israel's pre-1967 lines without agreement by both sides. The draft says that participants will affirm that a negotiated solution with two states, Israel and Palestine, living side by side in peace and security is the only way to achieve enduring peace. But the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has ruled out a return to the 1967 lines without agreed upon swaps and without the exclusion of East Jerusalem. Netanyahu has rejected the UN resolution and accuses the Obama administration of conspiring behind Israel's back. He has ridiculed the resolution's designation of areas such as the Temple Mount and the Western Wall, the holiest sites in Judaism, as occupied Palestinian territory. Israel has refused to participate in the French conference, which Netanyahu on Thursday claimed was rigged against his country. Now, on the other hand, the Palestinians, who also are not invited to this weekend's conference, have welcomed the French initiative. In recent years, they have campaigned for the international community to assume a greater role in resolving the conflict. Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas is expected to visit France in the coming weeks to follow up on the conference. Netanyahu rejects international attempts to impose a solution and says peace can only be reached through direct negotiations. French diplomats speaking on a condition of anonymity because they are not authorized to talk to the media about the event said the timing of the conference, days before U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration, is intentional and meant to present him with a collective international push for peace once he takes office. Trump, who has not yet laid out a clear policy for the region, but has signaled he will be more sympathetic to Israel's hardline right than previous administrations. While indicating an eagerness to broker a peace agreement, his election platform did not mention a Palestinian state. Trump has appointed David Friedman, a Jewish American lawyer with close ties to the settlement movement, as his ambassador to Israel. Trump also has vowed to move the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, a step the Palestinians strongly oppose. Now, certainly I expect that this move, or proposed move by Mr. Trump to move the embassy Tel Aviv to Jerusalem will be a sticky problem. And reading from an article that's from File, this is some of the solutions that they've come up with, and it may shed some light on what may really happen. And picking up about halfway down the article, it says File's exclusive sources report that the transition team is examining a number of proposals, one of which is to make a start on clearing the ground at the future site of the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem and then wait. The U.S. government purchased the site some years ago for this purpose. The plot, known as the Allenby Camp, which served as the British military compound after 1917, is large and stands empty in the southern Jerusalem neighborhood of Talpiot, adjacent to the Palestinian district of Jebel, as I guess it's pronounced, Mokhubar, and the mixed neighborhood of Abu Tor. Now, another idea is to conduct a cornerstone laying ceremony at the site and then suspend construction. The Palestinians would have to reciprocate by calling off their international campaign for vilifying and delegitimizing the State of Israel at the UN as well as in world capitals. Construction of the U.S. Embassy would then remain on hold, but if the Palestinians continued their anti-Israel campaign, construction of the Jerusalem Embassy would go forward. Our sources report that the embassy transfer is just one item on the broad program President-elect Trump is putting together on the Israeli-Palestinian dispute, including its territorial aspects. Now, Debka File says that important details on this plan and more will be revealed exclusively in the coming issue of Debka File Weekly for subscribers out next Friday, which is today, January 13th. Now, I'm not a member of Debka Weekly, but if you are, send me that article, and I'd like to read it. Or if somebody knows where it is online that I can read it, send me a message in that regard as well. But I'd be interested to know what Mr. Trump has up his sleeve once he gets into office, and it does look like he is in the bargaining process already. So it looks like to me that this is going to be a very fierce game where the Palestinians are going to have to determine whether or not they want to play hardball and allow the international community to come down upon the United States or Mr. Trump. So what I see right now is I see two different factions forming. One, the international community on the Palestinian side, and Mr. Trump and Israel on the other side. But again, I simply don't see Mr. Trump letting this deal passing by. I think that he is going to attempt to bring about a peace deal that no one else has been able to accomplish. And it's possible that Jared Kushner, his son-in-law, may very well be taking a lead role in this particular project in and of itself. So it's going to be very interesting to see in the next few months where and if this does take any type of turn. And I think one of the first clues as to where this is heading is if Mr. Trump does begin a groundbreaking ceremony for this U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem. If when that does happen, that the Palestinians, they could very well submit to what Mr. Trump has bargained, or they could promote a hard line, stay strong, and hope that the international community will back them up, and that they would stand against the United States and Mr. Trump as well. So I guess the thing is, if it does come out that the Palestinian Authority or Mr. Abbas does not heed to the United States when they do have their groundbreaking ceremony or their cornerstone ceremony, but continues to badmouth Israel in the international community, that means that they're taking a strong stand with the international community, and that's the direction they're going to take. Now, for those who are new to the Bible prophecy world, the reason why this is very important and that I put a big emphasis on what's going on in the Middle East and this peace proposal is because the Bible says in Daniel 9:27 that at some point in time there will rise up a man out of the European Union, or should I say the revived Roman Empire, who will stand up and who will make a peace with many, and Israel will be included. Most Bible prophecy teachers and scholars believe that this peace accord will kick off the beginning of a 7-year tribulation period. And of course, we know as Christians that the rapture of the church will happen before that. So that's why that we take an interest, and this ministry takes an interest in what is going on in the Middle East more than anything else at this time. Frankly, I don't have any interest in any conspiracy theories because, truthfully, they do not lead to this the rapture of the church taking place and the start of the 7-year tribulation period. So I will continue to keep a close eye on this to see exactly where it's headed and keep you informed. And if you don't know the Lord, today is the day of salvation. Don't put it off. The Bible says that it's appointed that a man wants to die, then the judgment. You're going to have to face God one of these days when you die. And you know what? 150,000 people die every single day around the world. Now, the Bible says that the vast majority of them are going to end up in a burning hell. Don't let that happen to you. Come to the Lord today before it's everlasting too late. And you Christians, you need to get a copy of my Tribulation Period Survival Guide. Go down to the description. You will find both copies. When I say both copies, there is a free version that's written in 9 different languages that you can download. Just follow the links, and it'll get you to where you need to go for whatever language you choose. And it's free. Now, if you want to buy a paperback version, you can do that also. Go down to the description section of this video, and there will be a link for you to purchase a paperback version of an English copy of my Tribulation Period Survival Guide that you can hand, or you can give to your lost loved one, or to your friends. Frankly, I've seen several people already get saved because of this book before the rapture takes place. And who knows, if you get this book in the hands of your friends, lost friends and loved ones, they may also get saved before the tribulation period or before they die. So I would encourage you to get a copy of this and hand it to them. Well, this is Terry Malone with the Calvary Prophecy Report.